They paid scientists to blame fat and hide the truth about sugar. Internal documents exposed.
It is legal. It is in almost every food you eat, and according to decades of suppressed science, it may be the most dangerous substance in modern history. Sugar is hiding in your bread, your pasta sauce, your salad dressing, your baby food. Not because it has to be, because someone paid to put it there. In 1967, the sugar industry secretly paid Harvard scientists to publish research blaming fat and clearing sugar for heart disease. We have the documents. After World War II, the American food industry exploded. Sugar became cheap, abundant, and the defining ingredient of the new processed food era. Then, in the 1950s, a powerful physiologist named Ancel Keys declared he had found the cause of heart disease. He pointed the finger at dietary fat. His 7-country study became gospel. Fat was the enemy. Saturated fat was a killer. The entire Western world restructured its diet around this single claim. But Keys had data from 22 countries. He published only 7, the ones that supported his hypothesis. The countries that contradicted it were simply removed. British scientist John Yudkin disagreed. In 1972, he published Pure, White and Deadly, arguing sugar, not fat, was the true cause of heart disease. Keys destroyed him. In 2016, researchers at the University of California found something explosive buried in archives. Internal documents from the Sugar Research Foundation dated 1967. The Sugar Research Foundation paid Harvard scientists the equivalent of $50,000 today to conduct and publish a review of nutrition research. The resulting review was published in the New England Journal of Medicine, one of the most prestigious journals on earth. It cleared sugar and condemned fat entirely. That single paid review shaped U.S. dietary guidelines for 50 years. It shaped the food pyramid. It shaped what your doctor told your parents and their parents. When food companies removed fat, food tasted terrible. The low-fat revolution was in reality a high-sugar explosion. In 1977, the U.S. government released low-fat dietary guidelines. Within 2 decades, obesity rates doubled, type 2 diabetes rates tripled, heart disease did not decline. Here is what sugar actually does. Fructose, half of table sugar, can only be processed by your liver. Flood it with fructose, and it converts the excess directly into fat. Sugar triggers the same dopamine reward pathways as cocaine. Brain scans of sugar consumption and cocaine consumption are near identical in their activation patterns. Every sugar spike forces an insulin spike to match it. Repeat this thousands of times over decades, and your cells become resistant to insulin. That is type 2 diabetes. Sugar causes chronic inflammation. It damages artery walls, which the body then patches with cholesterol. That patch is what becomes arterial plaque. Fat was never the primary villain. Cancer cells consume glucose at up to 200 times the rate of normal cells. The Warburg effect, discovered in 1924, showed tumors are essentially powered by sugar. It is still barely discussed. Researchers noticed something chilling. The sugar industry strategy was word for word identical to the tobacco industry strategy for decades of denial. Between 2011 and 2016, Coca-Cola spent $132 million funding scientific research. Studies funded by the sugar industry were 5 times more likely to find no link to obesity. The sugar lobby spent over $4 million lobbying Washington in 2023 alone. Former industry scientists sit on government dietary guideline committees to this day. When the WHO tried to lower sugar guidelines in 2003, the U.S. sugar industry threatened to lobby Congress to cut WHO funding. The guidelines were quietly softened. Children's cereals marketed as part of the healthy breakfast contain up to 56% sugar by weight. They are displayed at children's eye level, by design. In 2009, UCSF professor Robert Lustig gave a lecture called Sugar, the Bitter Truth. It has been viewed 25 million times. The medical establishment initially dismissed him. Today, obesity affects 1 in 8 people worldwide. Type 2 diabetes has tripled in 30 years. Non-communicable diseases now kill more people than all infectious diseases combined. The simplest act of resistance is reading the label. Added sugar has over 60 different names on ingredient lists: maltose, dextrose, sucrose, corn syrup, fruit juice concentrate. Countries that introduced sugar taxes, the UK, Mexico, Norway, saw measurable declines in consumption within 2 years. The industry fought every single one. The science was always there. The studies were always there. They were just buried, discredited, and underfunded, while industry-sponsored research filled every journal. Subscribe to KinoDocs, because the truth about what you eat every day is more political than you were ever told.